A big thank you comes to you today from Dead Rabbit via Patreon for his long support of the channel. The Mycotyrant versus the Scarab God with no lands in hand. That's a good start. Okay, that's alright. It's pretty slow, but we can get down a third land on turn 2 for the Cultivate. So let's get rid of the Spore Mound, I think. Alright, and now a Nature's Law as well, so this brings it into play tapped, the Nature's Law untapped, so we'll hold on to the Nature's Law. Going to Shocking the Overgrown Tomb, just in case we want a lot of swamps in play, because we do have Cabal Coffers in the list, so I think I'll go for a swamp here as well. And a Talisman of Dominance from our opponent. Okay, Boseiju who endures, no point blowing up a rock with that, because it'll be replaced with a land, so go for the Cultivate. Another rock in the form of Dimir Signet, and it's an Undead Augur after that, so has definitely gone for Zombie Tribal. Alright, Rise of the Witch King. Each player sacrifices a creature. If you sacked one this way, you may return another permanent from graveyard to the battlefield. Have high hopes for this one, haven't been able to play it yet. So let's go for the Mycotyrant. And I think I want to set up with the Bloodghast. We can sacrifice it to make mana with the Ashnod's Altar, and then bring it back with the Nature's Law next turn maybe. We don't have anything decent to reanimate with the Rise of the Witch King, but I don't know, maybe we'll be able to get the Mycotyrant out with it. And the Scarab God entering play, so have both of our commanders in play. No self-mill from our opponent yet though. Might be able to go for a Thought Scour or something like that. Instead, it is Birthday Escape, draw, and the Ring Tempt You. So the Ring Bearer is the Scarab God. Anyway, the Undead Augur swings in at us. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, just getting into an Ancient Tomb, so we've got the mana but nothing to really do with it. Get out the Ashnod's Altar, so we can go for some Descend activations here. Let's sacrifice with the Bloodghast, or sacrifice Bloodghast with the Ashnod's Altar, then play an Ancient Tomb. Not going to do anything with all this mana, unfortunately. Then sacrifice it again after it comes out with the Ancient Tomb, and we'll use some of this mana to go for the Nature's Law, and we'll take advantage the Haunted Mire coming into play tapped because we don't need the mana, and out comes that Bloodghast again. So we'll just hold up the Boseiju. Our opponent might get down an equipment or something like that we're scared of, but there's nothing else that we're doing here. Could have gone for Rise of the Witch King in order to get out of fetch and make some more Saprolings, but I want to do more with that really, even if it's only getting our commander back into play. So Mycotyrant triggers at the end of the turn, and we get a couple of fungus tokens thanks to sacrificing the Bloodghast twice. Can't block with any of these things though. So our opponent got to scry there thanks to having the Undead Augur in play. And there's another one, Diagraph Captain, gonna chip away at us as the zombies die. Means that we can't block the Undead Augur with our commander anymore. And then a Lazotep Reaver will come in with a token if my memory serves. Yeah, a mass 1, so comes in with a zombie army token. Alright, so 8 damage being taken, including 5 commander. No land, please. Alright, and Necromancy isn't of much use to us either. Are we just going to play this Boseiju for the sake of making a fungus? So now that we have Necromancy, we have Rise of the Witch King as well. I mean, am I just going to do the fetch land thing? Yeah, I think so. It'll buff our Mycotyrant at least, so sacrifice Bloodghast. Our opponent's got decent sack fodder, unfortunately, but Rise of the Witch King. Suppose we could have sacrificed the Bloodghast with that. So obviously get rid of a fungus token. Our opponent will get rid of his token as well, I imagine. One less thing to swing in at us though. So let's grab back a Verdant Catacombs we could do, or we could get the Wayfarer's Bauble. Yeah, it's just the Verdant Catacombs really. It means that we take an extra life, but less messing around. So the Undead Augur, they will lose a life to. We will lose a life to the Diagraph Captain thanks to a zombie dying. They go up to 3 cards in hand. Bloodghast comes back thanks to the Verdant Catacombs, so let's sacrifice that. Then crack the Verdant Catacombs, and I'll just grab a swamp again. So out comes Bloodghast once more. So that at the end of the turn, make some more Saprolings with the Mycotyrant, and should really have another fungus token here. But that is a 5/5, so should be able to block anything our opponent swings in with. Depends if they want to go wide or not. And there's more scry going now for the Scarab God. We'll be able to scry 3. We lose 3 life here. Our opponent scries 3 because he controls 3 zombies. Alright, Liliana, untouched by death, will be able to give -4/-4 to something, or she'll be able to mill and drain us a bit. If they go for the mill and get a decent creature, our necromancy could become relevant. And they did go for the mill, managed to get into a couple of lands and a cruel somnophage. Currently only a 1/1, unfortunately, but our opponent does have the mana to reanimate that, so wouldn't be a good idea going for the necromancy anyway. So does go for the reanimation, turns that into a zombie, and it is a 4/4 with +1/+1. Alright, the undead ogre is swinging in. We can block that with our commander and reanimate it maybe. Or would we rather have this so that we can make another body that we can actually block with? Yeah, as much as I'd like to take this away from him, this is probably going to be a better idea, just for the sake of the bodies, like I said. So going wide and dealing 5 damage to us, they will deal another damage thanks to the Diagraph Captain. And draw a card. Alright, a Tireless Provisioner, so do we just go for the Beseju then? Yeah, we can't block with these things anyway, so we might as well swing in with them, I think. Alright, so we'll go wide on the Lily. Yeah, missing out on the extra power and toughness there is relevant, apparently. Yeah, just go like that. Like I said, we can't block with these anyway, so we might as well swing in with them. So just 3 damage going onto the Lily. Alright, so we'll go for the Tireless Provisioner. And then we can play ourselves a Beseju as a land, you know, to bring the Bloodghast back. That will allow us into... do we want a treasure token or a food token at this point? Probably a food token is going to be better. So Bloodghast enters. We'll now go for the Necromancy and steal this thing away. And if we sacrifice the Bloodghast here, then we'll get a couple of fungus, and this will be a 6/6, which makes it better at blocking this. So yeah, go for that. And then we might as well use that mana to crack the food token and gain 3. Don't often make food tokens with the Tireless Provisioner, but we're not doing too well here. So we lose more life, go down to 14 thanks to the Scarab God's ability at the upkeep. A Gleaming Overseer, that will amass another army. And tokens you control have Hexproof and Menace. Liliana milling 3 again, and watch this be an incredible card that goes in the bin. Just as soon as we use the Necromancy. That is a Likeness Looter, the Mouth of Sauron, and Arwen's Gift. Mycotyrant the Unhallowed now, so it's going to be difficult to keep creatures out of play. We're not seeing a sack outlet from our opponent yet, thankfully. Deciding to come in with the Undead Ogre, coming in with everything, because why not? Chances are that we don't draw into anything next turn, so I'll just have this come back in with Undying. We'll do the same with this. I mean, we can try and set up for a board wipe at this point, and I'll just chump block with this because there's every chance our opponent could get rid of it with enchantment removal. We are putting it back in the bin, but got bigger things to worry about at this point, I think. Alright, so we have to double block on this because it has Menace. We'll have to take the commander damage from the Scarab God. Completely forgot about the Menace on that. So Mycotyrant goes back into the command zone. And then there are Undying triggers like we said, so the Somnophage and the Captain will come back in with plus counters on them. Our opponent draws more cards, and we lose a life to having the Diagraph Captain die. Okay, this has stayed in the exile zone for some reason. Yeah, not sure what's happened there. And yeah, we just draw into a land like I said, so all mana and absolutely nothing to do with it this game, so bring back the Bloodghast. And there's only 2 things we can block with here, so at this point we're just waiting for our opponent to deal with us. Let's sacrifice the Bloodghast just for the sake of making a fungus at the end of the turn. My opponent's been playing a little bit slow here towards the last few turns, so I'll give him a chance to do something here. Maybe we'll see something cool from this zombie tribal list, but I'm not against scooping at this point. So we go down to 2 with the Scarab God's Scry effect. And all our opponent has to do is turn sideways here. We've only got 2 blockers. Yeah, our opponent's clock is ticking down here. I'm just going to scoop it there because I need to get on with another game. Yeah, the Mycotyrant not doing too well for us there, but it was cool to see that zombie tribal list. We will try again. Boop, boop.
On the board.
Oh, I'm trying to do some tree lights, but we can't have the cat not getting involved somehow, can we? There we go.
Oh, you think she's going to get more chicken?
Sure.
Not get more chicken, but
Now, is that bag full of Christmas presents for standing on, do you think? You muppet.
Oh, is he? I know he took his mouse over there before and dropped it down it. With the string on, but we've got it out now.
He dropped his mouse down the
on purpose
gift
down
bag.
In the bag yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, well done, dickhead.
Just lie on this
Now I'll go on my crinkle bag. Can't you read?
Mm-hmm.
Up against Admiral Beckett Brass this time, which I have wanted to see on the channel for quite a while now. Don't think I've played against it on the channel yet, I've only played it once myself. We have kept this hand obviously, so let's go for a Bayou. The Expedition map we can play and crack for the Urborg because we do have Cabal coffers available to us. And this should help ramp us into the Beladros. And just a tap land for our opponent, we get into another fetch. So let's get down this Urborg ready for the Cabal coffers. We'll play out the Mycotyrant so we can start playing fetches into it. And our opponent has fast mana as well in the form of a Sol Ring. And gets down a new commander from the newest set, Breaches, Eager Pillager. Alright, and yeah, not doing too well this game either. It looks like we're just going to be getting into mana all over again. No point tapping it for black in response to its ability. Just doing this because it gets a tap landing. And it was just one permanent that went into the bin there, so we only get one fungus token. And that's a really good one, a Broadside Bombardiers. So a treasure token for the Breaches, and a target creature can't block this turn. Deciding not to go for a shock with the Bombardiers, so we get to keep our commander. Take a Bolt to the Crypt as well. Alright, and another land. We're not destined to do much, are we? But we're going up against tribal decks, which is cool. I do like tribal decks, as you might have worked out. Or kindred decks, should I say. Well, if we go Cabal coffers now, we can at least get down the Beladros Witherbloom. But still struggling to make more fungus tokens. Might as well swing in with that, because we can't block. And we get a pest token at the beginning of every upkeep, ready to do some chump blocks. And there is Admiral Brass, unsinkable. We'll mill 4 cards, we just need to hope he doesn't hit a pirate, but he does. There's Corsair Captain, a land, Crimson Fleet Commodore, and Breaches Brazen Plunderer. So he's going to bring out, with 4 cards in hand, a Corsair Captain, giving the pirates +1/+1. Alright, so the Beladros can't block this turn, exiling the top card of the library and making a treasure. And I don't think that we're going to draw into anything next turn, so I think I'll just chump with the Mycotyrant here. So we'll go Pest Token, Mycotyrant. This has Menace, plus it's the least amount of damage, so we'll just take 3. And we'll actually gain a life from the Pest Token as well. And now our opponent has the One Ring as well, just to go from bad to worse. He's having better luck than we are, unfortunately. Okay, there is a Cankerbloom. Can't get rid of the One Ring with that, but we can get rid of the Sol Ring and hurt the Grixis player's mana. So we will play ourselves a Windswept Heath, then go for the Mycotyrant, then play the Cankerbloom, and sacrificing that in order to destroy an artifact, we'll blow up the Sol Ring, and that's obviously a permanent going into the bin. Then we'll go for the same thing with the Windswept Heath. Oh, and I'm not sure, the Beladros has gone down as well. So I'm not sure how that happened. Hopefully I'll be able to edit something into the video to show you what happened there. Maybe this sacrificed something? Anyway, no point throwing away a fungus if we don't have to. Get 2 more fungus at the end of the turn. Our opponent will draw with the One Ring and take 1 damage at the beginning of the turn. Now at the beginning of the turn, the Breaches comes back into play with a finality counter on it thanks to the Admiral Beckett Brass. And yeah, target creature can't block, so none of our creatures are blocking here, and that is a lot of damage we're taking. Going down to 10. And there we see a Hostage Taker to deal with maybe the Mana Crypt so that they can steal it away. They could have played the Mana Crypt from underneath the Hostage Taker, but deciding to deal with our commander. Alright, and just another land, so that pretty much sums up this session, doesn't it? We'll Go for our commander again, play a land. We'll play a fetch and crack it. And just pass the turn at that, waiting for the pirates to take us out. So now Admiral Beckett Brass is going to reanimate the Time Stream Navigator. We'll be able to, would have been able to activate that for an extra turn after this, which is an interesting bit of tech that you can do with the Admiral Brass Unsinkable. And that obviously dodges the finality counter as well. So swinging in with everything and taking an extra turn seemingly for some reason. So we just take the hit and down we go to the pirates. So yeah, not a particularly good one for Mycotyrant, but we got to see a couple of cool tribal lists, which I don't mind showing you, so hopefully you all enjoyed this video. I'm tribalkai. Thank you for watching.